Hello. Okay. Audio's okay. Alright. Welcome everyone. I know it's been a while since I've streamed. I'm sorry about that. I had a lot going on. But I'm back. I'm back. And I'm going to try finishing up this game now that I am back. The stream could be 3 to 4 hours long this time, just so I can be wrapping it up. I have no idea how much left there is to go. Actually, maybe I should look that up. 15 to 20 hours of gameplay. Was this part 6? 5, 10. I might have played 10 hours so far. Oh boy, and I have really lollygagged at some parts. I'm trying to do. I want to do this in 2 days because, well, that's how long I have till Game Pass expires, and I'm not wanting to get it again just to finish this up. I have to see though. I really don't want to, but I might. I might because leaving it incomplete like this does not sit too well for me. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll do 3 to 4 hours. It takes approximately 15 to 20 to complete. I should be done, hopefully, this stream or the next. It'll probably be next stream. But okay. I'm still trying to set everything up, so bear with me in the main menu here. Okay. There we go. I hope everyone's week has gone well. It's Friday. I've been absent. Mine was iffy, but I'm back. Okay. Let's get in. I barely remember what we were doing last time. I know we were doing our own investigation. Oh, this is the day of his trial. I don't remember his name, but it's his trial. What are we doing here? Are we already going in? Journal. What's up on today's journals? Widow's curse. After helping, she knew that she hated. Oh yeah, we went to the widow to find out if she. Well, in the game sense, we were going to see about if it was she that did it. It's lucky to find out what he was arguing about. What? Up to the will. Be okay. You know, she hated the Baron for what he did to her husband, Runnig. Oh yeah, because Runnig. No. The Baron beat her husband so severely that he left injuries. Definitely believe killed him in the end. I think that's all we can really go on right now. Oh, we did talk to the sisters, but man, I forget what that was about. Oh, they're not here. Must have been yesterday. I talked to them. What is going on right now? Is there an objective? Chapter house. That must be where it's being held. Looks, that's all there is. Let's go ahead and go inside. Let's go to church first. Maybe there's a... I still haven't noticed if I need to look around places or if it's gonna tell me. It's getting me very self-conscious. What does it think you're doing, Master Mallet? Stare innocently. I'm not doing anything. What are you talking about? Stay away from the sacristy. You know you're not allowed in there. I was in there before. Oh, gosh, my wife. You know me. I just like to take a peek where I'm not allowed. I'm just being nice about it. Because I know your secret, Matthew. I know your secret. Where is anybody in the scriptorium? Oh, I can talk to somebody. Andreas, may I help you with anything? I came across an interesting letter from you addressed to the late... Oh, yes. To the late Van Rothfogel. You rushed into the scriptorium. There's something strange at your desk. So Brother Volkebert and I were digging up... Yeah, we were just casually digging up your grave. We think we found something. Pardon? And why were you sneaking about the scriptorium? What was it you were holding? I thought I caught a glimpse of astrological symbol. Why are you trying to distract me? Astrological. Which is an academic interest of mine. Nothing you need concern yourself with. Let us seek a common understanding, Master Mallet, as two brothers in Christ. Please, lads. I love to understand things. The scriptorium is my domain, and you are a guest here. And as long as that is true, I do not answer to you, but the abbot only. Is that clear? I suppose, if you don't mind me asking, why aren't you the abbot? That's random. Why aren't you the abbot? It's an elected position, isn't it? Did your brothers not find you fit? Are you not better suited to the job given your age and experience? That's not... I will not discuss this with you. What are we doing here? Damn. I just had some more questions. Caught something interesting. A letter from you just to the late Baron Rothfogel. That can hurt. What? Where did you get that? Mine's favorite mic is. No, I didn't get it from him. I just waltzed in his house and found it there. Which was with the Baron. I was gonna piss him off more. He thought I might, because in the letter he said he wouldn't. He thought I might shed a light on who killed the Baron. It's not as it looks. He meant to coerce me into performing a ritual to help with the condition. But I refused, as the letter makes abundantly clear. Ah, the French disease. Baron's threat remained, and you know how fickle inquisitors can be about what books people choose to read. What? Threat remained. How fickle. What? Had you performed rituals with them? I'm going to understand you shared a love of occult books. No, he already said he did it. French disease. I noticed he had sores on his sex when I was examining him. He was only taking mercury for treatment. It can cause increased behavior at high doses. Sure. Mercury might explain his cavalier attitude toward our mutual interest. He seems to believe he was untouchable. I am under no illusions. Mutual. Your shared love of quote literature. What can you possibly have in common? I am the prior of Cursaw Scriptorium, one of few of its kind left in Christendom. Modest though the abbot may be, our library contains works on subjects rarely found beyond its walls. Certainly not all in the same place. For men of certain academic interests, it is perhaps the only place we may meet and discuss them. Are you a witch, Private Fenric? No. I am a scholar and a man of God. How dare you imply otherwise? The Baron's interest was more than academic. When he wished to make it practical, I refused. There is nothing more to it. The Inquisition is not kind to practitioners. Wars could have gotten you killed. You're not killed, Baron Rothfogel. And I do not care if you believe me. It is simply a fact, which the Archdeacon will surely realize. Now, is that all? I have duties. I rely. Should attend to. I will leave you in peace, because I do not want you to be prepared for what I dug up. Offensive and evasive. What? I would be too, or something like that. I don't know if you knew anything about the Baron's death, he was defensive and evasive. Okay. Well, he doesn't, by his words, he doesn't practically use it, but we found a bloody dagger. So, that excuse is out of the way. Is this chapter house? Oh, kitchen cellar. Factory. Oh. What's everyone doing here? Andreas, Ada, Boy. Dang, everyone's here. I wonder if I can ask, if anything, what happened to the guy No, you don't want to talk to me. Okay. Uh-oh.
Andreas?
Was it Gurna? Excuse me, I'm here at the Archdeacon's request.
He can wait a moment. Master Malin, if you think I am unaware of your actions around this abbey in the past few days, you are mistaken.
Oh?
I know that you visited the widow Kemperin and convinced her to question the legal status of her release.
Do you often spy on old women? So what if I did? You're trying to trick her.
I don't need to trick her. I am the abbot of Cursaw. I was elected to this holy position by my brothers. I was invested with the power to rule this land by the lance of the Emperor, whose own right is derived from God himself. So forgive me if I do not respect the legal posturings of a failed university student.
Forgive me if I don't respect the moral authority of a corrupt abbot. It doesn't matter if you respect me. What you're doing isn't legal.
You don't decide that. If you interfere again, you will pay for it. Now then, for all your meddling, you will not be welcome in Cursaw after your commission is complete.
Fine. What are you going to do? Have Matthew throw me out? Well, I'm not coming back to this pile of cow shit if I can't tell, but... Oh! What was I saying? I apologize. I was just trying to help Brother Pierre.
It's too late for apologies.
You're the abbot of Christ. You're supposed to... This is all about forgiving, but okay.
Your days of interfering in the daily life of this abbey will end.
It was never my intent to interfere, Father Abbot.
I'll leave you to the Archdeacon now. Try not to perjure yourself. God save you, Andreas Malin.
You're the one that's gonna need saving. Please state your name for our records. Andreas Mahler, troublemaker. Recently, of Venice, son of Joseph Mahler, master artist from Nuremberg. Oh man, I forgot what they said. Oh yeah, honesty. Honesty was what they said. Truth, truth, truth. Artist from Nuremberg. Pentiment artist from Nuremberg. Son of Joseph Mahler, master artist from Nuremberg. Recently, of Venice. Let's go with artist. You know, what is an artist doing in Kershaw Abbey? The Abbey still has some commissions from wealthy patrons, and I need the money before I return to Nuremberg. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. Of course, Reverend. Now then, Master Malin, what was your relation to Lawrence, the Baron Rothfogel? I only knew him for a day, but we were on friendly terms. Do you feel you had a sense of him as a person? Yes, Your Reverence. How would you characterize him? Fine man, a lover of art and knowledge, confident, overbearing, used to getting what he wants. A noble, for all the good and ill that goes along with that title. I've heard a lot about the kind of man he was and what he did. But if it's just us, I gotta say, man, none of these really describe him how I would want to. Confident, overbearing, used to getting what he wants. I gotta say, he was over art. That was the opinion of Father Gernot and the Lady Salmia as well. Do you believe everyone regarded him with the same warmth? No. It's clear that some locals had little love for the Baron. As unfortunate as that is, such knowledge may be a boon to us at this moment. The Baron Rothfogel was murdered here, in this very room. Someone did it. Father Gernot believes it was one of his monks, Brother Piero. I had met with Brother Piero and questioned him at length. Why, it seems unlikely that a man of his age and temperament— Oh, I meant to go visit him in the cellar. While it seems unlikely that a man of his age and temperament could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagrante delicto. He wasn't, though. The Baron was already dead. Stop talking. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Piero, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. Jeez, I'm sorry. Piero had reasons to resent the Baron. The loss of his work, the insistence on discussing the writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg. And as for his age and infirmity, I myself have read of many cases in which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by a devilish fever, the poor sinner gains an infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds, sometimes fatal. What I am saying is that in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Piero is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. I understand that you are on friendly terms with Brother Piero. You also interacted with the Baron, both in the town and the Abbey. Did you witness anything that suggests someone else could have murdered Baron Rothfogel? The nuns, no. A widow, no. The abbess prior Fenric was behaving suspiciously the day of the Baron's arrival. He may have had a motive. That is an extraordinary claim, Andreas. The abbot speaks highly of the prior, and he oversees both your and Brother Piero's work, does he not? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, but his and the spiritual has little bearing on his motive. extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence for me to take it seriously. Why should I take the word of an artist over a respected officer of this abbey? I can provide evidence of Prior Finrick's motive. Please do so. On the day that the Baron arrived, I secretly observed Prior Finrick in the scriptorium. It's not the best word for it. Baron Rathvogel and Prior Finrick were exchanging letters about performing a magical ritual during the Baron's visit. You have proof of this? I have a letter the Prior wrote to the Baron. In it, the Prior mentions that he will not perform a ritual for the Baron till Jacob Esser and Matter, even if the Baron does follow through on a threat to implicate him to Inquisitors in Innsbruck. The implication of necromancy is a serious matter. The Prior's position would have been in peril, possibly even his life. And how do you believe Prior Finnick would have killed the Baron? I pray you will not say it was a magical ritual. I found a silver rod that belongs to Prior Finnick. It has dried blood on it. Silver rod. Likely a magical tool of some sort, but it is of a size and weight appropriate for the head wound that the Baron received. How did you come to possess this item? The truth, and it involved a little grave digging. Master Malley, while it is not my place nor my task to hold you liable for what you've done, I will be informing Father Gernot. Is there anything else to say about the Prior? No, Your Reverence. Very well. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? There's so much. Lucky, I don't think it was lucky. One of the nuns, Sister Matilda, may have wished for revenge. Nope. Hated the Baron. Local thief, Martin Brar. I would like to bring up a concern I have about what has been ceased with the Abbey. I don't know who actually Camperines is. Is she the one I'm working with? Or I'm talking with? I don't know. A local thief, Martin Barr. I know it's not him. But he could have saw something. I want to go with local thief. Yes, his name has come up in many inquiries. My understanding is that he absconded with the sum of the Baron's valuables. Arnold? Yes. Your Reverence, a silver ring, a gold ring, 12 golden, 10 groschen, and a book intended as a gift for the Abbey. Thank you. It's my understanding that this boy was known as a thief, but also a coward. That the theft was from the Abbey's guest house, after the Baron had already left it. Even so, it is possible that he could have committed the murder, Your Reverence. Yes, it's possible, but very unlikely in my judgment. I'm not treating him as a serious suspect for the Baron's murder at this time. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? I don't think I can't think of anyone who could have caused to harm the Baron, Reverence. I really don't think it's gonna be lucky. I doubt. It was just an argument. One of the nuns, Sister Matilda. I don't think it would be her either. A widow in Tassing, Matilda Kemper. Oh, it's her. I'm so dumb for not seeing that. Is he gonna get mad at me if I bring this up? Is this relevant to the murder of the Baron? No, but as you represent the Prince Bishop and the Abbot rules these lands, I was hoping you might listen. Please be brief, Master Malley. I have many more people to question. The Abbot had Brother Guy write a letter to the widow about reclaiming her land. It's based on a false claim. False in what way? They claimed the lease was with the widow's late husband, Ronny Kemper. It was not. The lease began generations earlier with Ottilia's great-grandfather. What substantive bearing does this have on the abbot's claim? Whereas I am not lying, but there is clearly some malfeasance in the abbot's claim. The abbot has no reason to misrepresent the lease unless the existing lease is unfavorable to him. I admit, I cannot think of no other rational reason for him to do so. Very well, Master Mal. I shall make my own inquiry after I have completed my work here. Now then, let us return to the matter at hand. Nope, nobody else. I can't think of anybody. Very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed some light on this case? Has Brother Florian told you about the note he found in the Baron's clothing? Oh, I forgot about the notes. Yes, Brother Florian explained how he came to find it and told me its contents. Master Aldeljago has entered his testimony in our register. I don't understand the implication. Who is the innocent? It's not clear to me either, Your Reverence. Do you believe the murderer wrote this? Whoever wrote it, it was a talented scribe. I understand Kershaw has two. The elderly brother Adok and the younger brother Guy. Could have been Guy? Guy is very close. He probably would have wrote it without even realizing what it was for. To be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. There's something else about it too. The style is just different. It's unlike Adok and Guy's writing, unlike mine. Yes, but whatever the particulars, it seems it will remain a mystery that stands apart from the commission of the murder. Fortunately, there is more to tell. I found more notes. Notes written in the same hand on the same type of parchment, to those who had a motive to kill the Baron. It's chiefly troubling, but again, beyond the bounds of my investigation. In any case, I thank you for bringing it to my attention. Of course, Your Reverence. Until next time. Until then. Hopefully there won't be a next time. No offense. Until then. Final day of law and... Wait, what? Andreas. I didn't think you were coming to this. I didn't think I was either. I suppose I wanted to see how this all... Why? I didn't want to miss this. It was the prior of the Abbey, if you can believe it. Did you ever talk with him in the Abbey, Andreas? What? You missed the trial, Andreas. The Archdeacon read all the charges and found him guilty. Hey, it's better than the other guy. I worked with him almost every day, Claire. I didn't know he had a murderer in him. I don't think Fenric did it. The Archdeacon got it wrong. I worked with him every day. It was of a dark magic. It was only a matter of time before he got caught. Oh, they want you to think they're so pious. For all they're here to do is slowly drain the life out of this town.
Calm down, Peter. Oh, here comes a procession.
Did I miss anything?
Oh, you're fine.
Andres? Otto?
Agnes, oh, I didn't do this. God knows it, even if you do not. Agnes Dicotelis, Pacaramandi, Miserable. This could be happening. This could be happening. Agnes Dicotos.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like a chicken. Get this man a moment. Pathetic. Silence.
Oh, it's Arnold. I order the execution to carry out his duty. I warrant him peace and safe conduct, whatever may befall him. He's just gonna be executed like this? Jeez, I mean, at least. Oh, yeah, sorry, excuse me. At least the second brother. Ah, come on. Come on, man. That's more gruesome than I thought. No, I'm gonna watch. This is my fault. My God, my God.
Hold still, laddie.
Oh no! Oh, oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! It took 3 shots.
Lord, my Lord George.
You have executed as your law have required.
But I thank God my master who has taught me such art.
It took you 3 hits.
I know this was your doing, Andreas.
You know, it was only a matter of time before Frank was caught for his interest. Take it up the Archdeacon, Aslan. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself. You turned a blind eye to his activities for years. Oh, Archdeacon.
The Archdeacon would have reached his verdict without your testimony. I read it.
I didn't say anything that wasn't true. Again, take it up with the Archdeacon. I don't care what if. I didn't say anything that wasn't true.
You are no longer welcome at Curacao, Andreas Fowler. I will send your final payment to the Gertners. May you have a long, successful career in Nuremberg, and may you never travel this way again.
Duration. Wait, am I almost done with this game already?
Trace, has the time come for you to leave?
I'm afraid so. Brother Peter. This farewell will have to be brief, Father. Brief. Father Gurnot had made it clear I was no longer welcome at Curacao.
I pray that time soften Father Albert's heart, while he eventually realizes you're only trying to help me. It is the same way where, you know, I had hoped you would stay a bit longer. We'll need you more than Curacao does. You have grown beyond this old abbey and become a master in your own right. I will miss you, my son.
As will you. As I will you. Who will keep you out of trouble when I'm gone? Yeah.
I pray that is the last trouble I will see in my old age. And I have God and you to thank for getting me out of it. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go?
Please, I value your assistance. That's not everything I hoped. I value your assistance.
The opinion of one old monk matters little. All the same, I am excited to see it finished at last. It is a masterpiece, truly worthy of this world, of the word.
What is the word? What's going on here?
I praise you took my advice to heart.
What advice was it?
Put yourself into the work, not just to interpret another artist's work, but to transfer it into something true. This shows the world as it is, as you have seen it, even if it is not what we may want to see. What not, it is not my place to say so. I am proud of you, Andreas.
I have no idea. Was that a note? I don't know. Oh? What's this?
Scrap of parchment.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Do not return here. A warning?
That's probably so after I messed a lot of people up. A lot of people are not happy with me.
Whose hand is this? Doesn't look like Brother Adok's or brother, guys.
Oh, what is it? It's not Baron's hammer. Brother Floor and I found similar notes in the Baron's clothing. I found more notes of the two others while I was investigating. Must have been written by someone who knew his secrets enough to provoke him. They tugged at those secrets to get him killed, like someone pulled at threads that had been buried in the past. A frightening
thought. But who would do such a thing?
I know, I do know. It's the bear, it's the air, it's whatever, the A-bot, whatever it is.
He does, and I hope his life can still the wickedness in the heart of whoever wrote this. Do not trouble yourself over it.
Man, I don't know why I'm yawning. Maybe it's the voice acting.
Do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside of these walls. I hope that you will have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me.
I'll come by as often as I can. I'm sure we'll see each other again. I'll come by anything for you, brother. Gernot. Oh, no, that's not Gernot. I may not remember your name. I think it's Piero, I'm not sure. But you were very nice. Assuming Father Gernot doesn't forbid it. Yeah, it is Piero.
You must have faith that better days lie ahead for all of us. God bless you, Andreas Mallard.
Man. Thank you for your friendship. Till next time. Thank you for your guidance until later. God bless you, brother Piero. Thank you for your friendship. God bless you. Why didn't I look back? Is Maya gonna whack him over the head? Baron. Finish check. That's Act 1, so it's not almost done. How many? I guess there's a second. Who is this?
Are you alright, Master Andres?
What?
Are you alright, Master Andres?
Yes, thank you. I was just remembering him. Trying to, anyway. It doesn't come easily anymore.
Oh, would you like me to leave you alone?
Oh no, Casper. Not necessary. There's nothing to be done about it now. It's too late. Like so many things. Huh?
Andreas Mallard, I never expected to see your face here again. Have you been in Nuremberg for the last 7 years?
No, Nuremberg for a few years, but I received some lucrative commissions abroad. Well, I already know some Polish, but bits of it I can reference culture touch. You know some English and can reference friends. I always know French, but wasn't I supposed to go back home and marry? What's going on here? Poland, England. I went to England. Yes. I was in London mostly. I was well received there and painted portraits for nobility and prominent merchants.
Did you encounter any Jews among your clients?
No. Well, there was a rumor of a home for Jewish converts to Christianity in the city. Why?
I heard a handful of physicians naturalized as citizens after the expulsion. I wonder if they might have found a home in England after their recent ejections from Portugal and Navarre.
I'm surprised you care at all. ...
In spite of your extensive travels and success, you're still not welcome at Cursaw. The abbot hasn't forgotten what happened. 7 years isn't all that long.
7 years, and we still have not figured out. Oh, come on, man. just passing through on my way back to Nuremberg. I thought I'd stop in. So I want to pay my respects to an old friend. Sure, you understand that. I understand why, Father Abbot expelled you from the Abbey. What were you expecting? A hero's welcome? Fine. Tell Brian I'll be staying at Londhaus in town for a night or two before moving on. I didn't get Finner killed if that's what this is about. Archdeacon is the man who found him guilty. Why should I be held responsible for it?
Andreas, get out!
Is he so rude? No, I'm gonna just revolution. What? Oh, we're in a different bedding.
That monk seemed unhappy to see you, Master Andreas. Why is the abbot so angry with you?
Toward the end of my stay in Tassing, there was a murder at Cursaw Abbey. Noble man. Father Gernot panicked and accused my friend Brother Piero of committing the crime. I helped convince the investigating archdeacon that another monk was responsible. Prior Fenric was executed for the crime.
You had somebody killed?
No. Well, I collected evidence and presented it truthfully, and the archdeacon is the one who made the ruling.
Well, you couldn't let your friend die.
Oh, thank you.
Why didn't you mention it before?
Well,
I suppose it must have been a hard situation about if the abbot is still this mad at you.
I had to make some difficult choices. Maybe they were the wrong ones. I've had to live with that. Hard, yes, but also exhilarating.
Why did we come here if you're not welcome?
Wait, we? We? Who are you? Are you my son? I want to pay my respects to Brother Piero. And, to be honest, I'm not looking forward to returning to Nuremberg. This commission, it's an obscene vanity piece under the pretext of a religious scene. My patrons just want to celebrate themselves and their wealth. I dread each new commission more than the last. Every step I take toward home is agonizing.
Master, you're famous and rich. Your work is wonderful. When I saw your altarpiece in Nuremberg, I begged my father to help me become your apprentice. I don't understand how you could accomplish all that you have and be unhappy.
I know it must be hard to believe. I was once very much like you. All that I have accomplished is my work, yes. Now I am left hollow, but nothing else left. I thought I wanted to be like my father, like my brothers. I thought that was my dream. Once I wanted this life so much that it consumed my every waking thought. I don't know if I've changed or if what I wanted was ever really real. Maybe I've been a fool this whole time. I want life as an artist to be better for you, Casper. Learn from my mistakes, alright? This is what you have to look forward to, Casper. A life of disappointments. No, just learn from my mistakes. Oh,
Alright. Yes, Master Andreas.
I shouldn't be burdening you with such dark thoughts, Casper. I'll visit my old friend Klaus. It's been too long.
As you like, Master Andreas.
In respectos. Those are miss sparse compared to what I'm used to. Anything not sparse. Oh no.
Hello, Andreas. Are you enjoying your stay?
It's been wonderful, Hannah. Thank you.
Oh, good. You're in the best room we have. I'm glad it's to your liking. Was there anything else?
Well, thank you.
Until then.
Oh. The meadow. Where are you? Nico?
Oh, Mr. Mallet, isn't it? Hello, welcome to the Golden Hand. I am Nico Burger. I own this lawn house and run it with my wife Hannah and our son Killian. I believe my boy helped you to your room. Is it your liking?
It's lovely, thank you.
I am glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. When you arrived in town, one of the locals said you lived here a few years back.
Yes, I worked for the Abbey as an artist.
Oh, I see. I heard that you were involved in solving a murder.
Yes, out of necessity. The wrong man was being accused of the crime. Never mind.
I heard it was prior at the Abbey. That the bear wasn't sacrificed in some diabolical spell that brother was casting.
Alright. Alright. Well, he wasn't casting a spell. The Baron wasn't a sacrifice. Where did you hear that?
All bits and pieces that people have said here and there.
Well, it's wrong. It sounds like the story has changed in the last 7 years.
I mean, no offense, Master Mallory. I just find it to be an interesting story.
It's not a story, it's something that happened when 2 people died.
Of course, of course. Again, I mean, no offense. Well, I'll leave you to your day.
Until later. Don't you dare say until later, but until then. Oh, no, I didn't say I wanted you to say it. That's not what I meant either. Samuel. There's some... This town has gotten, where am I? I have to go... Where am I at? Golden Hand Inn. Circle. What's going on here? Feels strange being back in Cursaw, back in Tassing. I haven't talked to anyone here in years. I should stop by Klaus's house to see how he's been. Thought maybe I should have stopped by the people that I used to live with, but okay. Alright. Where am I now? I feel like there are so many questions unsolved and... Oh?
Just do it. You know it's the right thing. I don't understand why this is so hard for you.
Harlow, I'm scared. Strangers across the Abbot.
Would you prefer the alternative?
You don't need to do that, Harlow. I understand, I'm just saying.
Andreas? Andreas Mallory? It's good seeing you again, old friend.
Otto, you're looking well.
This is my apprentice, Kaspar Zielger from Salzburg.
Good day.
Oh, I didn't say that. I thought he might be your son.
We don't grow them that fast, even in Nuremberg. I've only been married 7 years, Otto.
Oh, good point. How old are you then?
14, sir.
Shit. I never would have known. Easy living would do that, I guess. Ev and I had just had our first little Otto, though we call him Otts.
Congratulations to you both. That's wonderful news.
It's been a trial with Dad all gone, but Claire and Ursula help out with where they can.
He lived us for a long time, concerning his profession and previous stroke.
Not long enough for me. Not long enough for Otts. Dr. Stoltz said it was another stroke while he was sleeping, thankfully. I know Eva wrote to you about my father's death, Andreas. Why didn't you write back?
Sorry, I just got busy after I left Tassing. So I can look at the ground.
Sorry to interrupt, but I should be heading back.
I feel like I should remember your face, but I can't place it.
Don't you trouble yourself. It's me, Martin, remember?
I don't know who Martin is.
It's been known to happen with children.
As much as I love wheeling away the hours in the meadow, I have a lot to attend to. Otto, I'll see you at the meeting later. Andreas, till later. You see, Martin, I'm glad. No! What was that last bubble? Why did it appear sooner? Oh my goodness!
Pain in my ass.
What's this about? Something happening down?
It's an interesting time to visit. Come by town commons in a while. I think you'll be interested to hear what I have to say.
Actually, I was just going my way to see Klaus.
Tell him to come too. He's been dragging his feet. Till later.
Yeah, okay. I pedaled it froze easily in the weed. I know still I think it has a nice charm. Oh, Spawn. How are you still alive, Spawn? You must be an old kitty cat by now. You don't look a day since I last saw you. Oh, you still remember me. Yeah, the ugly kitty. Alright, what's this? The mill? I don't really want to go to the mill. I don't even think there really is much of a need to go anywhere. Oh, I do want to go to the widow because I tried to help her with her house by talking to the archbishop. Actually, also, there's a salt mine down here that we couldn't do much with. I wonder if there's something here now. No, nothing. Two innocents. Wait, what? That's new. Two innocents. Uh-oh. There's gonna be another murder! Am I the murder? Do I have a second personality? Are those still going? What is... Oh!
Andreas, I had heard you were back in Tassing. God bless you.
God bless you, Father Thomas. It's good to see you again.
Hopefully this visit will be less eventful than your last. Tassing has enough going on as is. We have our bonfire for St. John's Eve tomorrow night. People get up to all sorts of mischief. And then it's my job to hear their confessions in the days that follow.
Not to mention their grubbling the peasants are making.
That's just talk, brother. No need to scare our guests with such things.
I'm sure if there is trouble, Master Mallow will be the first to stick his nose in it.
You're always such an asshole. Say nothing.
It's easy enough for you to come and go. You don't have to live with the consequences. After Ferenc was executed, Father Abbot made Matthew the new prior. Ferenc may have been annoying, but Father Matthew is even worse. Thanks for that. It would have been better for everyone if you had simply allowed Brother Piero to die.
Jeez.
After all, he only had a few years left anyway. You're a buffoon and a coward who hides behind his habit.
His friends, there's no need for such irony.
Give me Father Thomas. My passions get the better of me. Besides, it's not even why I came down here.
Spit in my face.
I just came to speak to you on the Abbot's behalf, Andreas. Father Grunot would like to invite you to come to the library tomorrow morning, if you're interested in purchasing some of our books.
The Abbot just had me run off and now he wants me back?
I can't know the mind of Father Abbot. Just do what he asks. The library is not quite ready yet. He does not see much use. If you could come by tomorrow morning, Mother Illuminata can show you what's available.
Mother Illuminata?
Yeah, since Mother Cecilia passed away a few years ago.
How did she die? So, sleep. So tomorrow morning. Alright, I'll tell him to expect me. I'll come by to take a look. I'm sure he'll be overjoyed. Andreas, I apologize for my harsh words before. That was rash. Brother Pierre was a pious man, a skilled artist. I miss him. Appreciate you saying that. I miss him too. Excellent. So glad you two were able to work things out. Oh, Father Thomas, do you have a moment to speak inside the church? I think so. Why? Private matter. Oh, of course, go, of course. Till tomorrow. God bless you, Andres.
Private matter? Eh? You got a private matter? Private matter? You're not gonna let me in?
Martin Barr and Widow. Oh, she's still here then. She didn't get kicked out. That's good. That's real good. Come on. I want to see her. I want to see the woman I flirt. Oh, well, okay, fine. I didn't want to see her anyways. Where am I supposed to be going? Nope, wrong button. Is that a dog holding a tennis ball? Oh no, that's that's a goat with a strawberry. Man, those are some good designs for cats. I don't know how cats are. I thought cats weren't supposed to be looking that good, or they look ugly for the art style of the mid ages. Okay, so I gotta go up, right, up, right, up. Up. Oh, hello. You're new. Oh, or not. You just know me by name. Oh. Right. And am I here? This isn't the truckers, is it? Oh, it is. Why am I walking so? Is he dead? No. Klaus, I don't really remember you, to be honest. Andreas. Sorry, Klaus, it's been a long time. So you're not really mad, are you? What? Mad? 7 years. 7 years and nothing from my friend Andreas. First Bert, then married, just after Magdalene was born. My wife always thought highly of you. I can't believe you didn't write back after I told you they had passed. I don't know what to say. I should have written. Yes, you should have. Too late for that now.
Bop, beep, bop, bop.
Well, hello. He likes you. Business seems like wrong. What are you printing? The 12 articles. They were originally written by Swabian peasants who were demanding changes from their lord. I can't read that. Freedom from serfdom, freedom to hunt and use the woods as God intended, freedom from compulsory labor, oblivion of the inheritance tax, fair appraisal of rent, return the property to common use and workmanship. Bavaria is in Swabia, but their complaints aren't just as valid for the peasants' taxing. Oh, so what's going on? The revolution. This seems to be what Otto was talking about. He wanted me to bring you along. As he asked. I may come, I may not. The abbot has been squeezing the peasants for years. Now he's squeezing the townsfolk, and we're pushing back.
The cause is righteous, Andreas. If you haven't seen the Gertners lately, you should visit them.
Nada, have you print these?
Yes, why?
I didn't think you could read.
You can't. Just about everyone else in town can. He speaks, I print, try and do my part, I suppose. Sorry, I'm still not in the mood for this late reunion. Come back for dinner tomorrow. If you go to the Commons, I hear what Otto has to say. It's worth hearing.
Still there. Be good.
Will you be good? Come go back,
Jeez. We're passing right by eating. Cold reunion. Yeah, supposedly. Okay. I got nothing else but wait, Town's Commons or the center? Town's Commons. Okay. Jeez.
So many people.
Everyone, listen. You all knew why we're here. Nothing I'm going to say will be a surprise. Nothing I'm going to say has not been spoken behind closed doors, whispered to your neighbors. Nothing I'm going to say is untruthful. So this time we started saying it openly. Year after year, the Abbey has found new way to tax the peasants. Piece by piece, the Abbey has taken away our rights to use God's forest to support our families. Law after law gets heaped upon us. Restrictions on how we can pay rent, limits on where we can move, who can wed. And now, the death tax, which once claimed only our best animal garment, takes off our estate. No consideration for widows, no consideration for children.
What about the town council? Write this. Surely that is a sign that we Abbott wishes to share its power, to listen to our grievances.
You have a good heart, Ulrich. You always want to see the best in people. But no. The council is a way for the Abbot to divide us, to pit a favored few against the many. It is not charity, no, only greed and desperation drive Father Gernot. You think that if the Abbot could, he'd steal a dead man's soul from heaven and sake. When he protested, what did Father Gernot do? He locked the shrine of St. Moritz. He won't allow the people of this town, the farmers of this land, to pray before the relic. Now, we must need the intercession of our saint. He already shut us out. Father Gernot's actions weren't just, they aren't Christian. We've endured this abuse for this too long. It's time we let the Abbot know we won't take it anymore.
Too right. Are you here? Yes. This here stop. Let's fix this. Stop. This is foolish. Soldiers are already patrolling nearby towns. If you push against the Abbot, you'll incur the Duke's wrath. You get no town raising, everyone killed.
Anna's right. Duke is powerful force and by virtue.
You're playing a dangerous game, Otto. You lot are no match for trained soldiers. If you don't want it, we'll be ground to dust like the Swabian peasants. We can always grind up and stare in heart. You might be right if they are as soldiers. I don't think we must stand for our right. God is on our side.
Don't be shy. Speak up if you have cause.
We won't be overrun. The peasants of Salzburg were able to take the city and have their causes heard. If the people can get their archbishop of Salzburg to listen to them, and we can do the same with the Abbot. So, Andreas, do you think my family in Salzburg is alright?
Don't worry, the civilian losses were minimal. We're probably fine.
Oh, no. Maybe we should go to Salzburg after this.
Enough is enough.
We can't stand by while the Abbot continues trading us poorly. People of Swazbia are taking back their God-given rights. We shouldn't we do the same? A righteous cause.
Martin's right. We deserve better. We can do this. We have spoken, Martin. Everett ought to consider what he's saying. Martin has proved dependable these last 2 years. But if the words of men can't persuade him, perhaps a sign from a greater power will. The abbot may have locked us out of our St. Shire, but God has shown me that he is with us. Huh? I think that's all I should say for now. Thank you all for coming. Okay.
Damn, Andreas.
Hey, it's been too long. It's lovely to see you again.
Damn, Andreas. I'm surprised to see you after your long absence from Tyson. At this rate, we thought we'd never see you again.
Yeah, but all these years and you're looking as lovely as ever.
Andreas, please, that's enough. I'm married now.
Of course, I apologize for being so forward. A woman? As I say differently, but okay. You found the Gertners.
Speech was rising, Autumn. I swear they get better each time.
What if the Duke doesn't catch word of this, Otto? The town could suffer for it. We're past the point of caring, Mother. If you were in our position, you'd understand that. You're right, it's not the place to judge, I'm just concerned. It's appreciated, but we know what it is. Understood why many people hate the abbot. Oh, did you really see a sign from God? That's not true. Please, Andreas, I swear. Come talk to me later. I'll tell you what I can, alright?
Andreas, you and yours should come by our house for supper. We'd be delighted to have you.
Sounds wonderful. We'll be there, Claire. Oh, there you go. Straight to it. So the Gertner's supper. Dangerous. Andreas, you're back in Castle? Just for a few days. I want to pay my respects to Father Piero. Oh, yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man. I'll talk to him sometimes on my breaks up at the Abbey. I'm surprised Piero Finner didn't give you an earful. Well, he did before the one place at least. I'm sure you know it shook up things at the Abbey for a while. I'd imagine. But the guy made it clear I wasn't welcome at Curacao when I arrived. But yeah. For what it's worth, you're still welcome in Tasson. Anyways, Matthew is prior now. Still strict. A bit quieter about it. Matthew's always struck me as a quiet pious. So, it's changed for the best. Who's to say? We don't have to live by the rule. And again, we all have to live under Father Gernot's rule. There's probably worse. Oh? Are you in with the peasants and this? Well, of course. Gernot has been running things into the ground. On top of that, you can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore.
How far are you going to take this?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not leading the thing. But I trust in Otto. The peasants do too.
He's a good man.
Whole towns knows it. Even Linhart, though he wouldn't admit it. So, Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? after you left here and returned to Nuremberg. I take it you were married. I was, Sabine. She was waiting for me. I was married before it became those illegal requirements. Hope the married life has treated you well. Well, I still have not found anyone. Oh, we're in this. Yeah, fear it's never going to happen. Really? Not a single person has caught your eye? I was only a mother. Marriage is not worth it. Not a single person caught your eye. Well, I was in Innsbruck a few years ago. I saw a pretty girl at the market. Some painted pots. I think about her sometimes. Maybe more than it is Christian. You need to go back to Innsbruck and find that pretty girl. I can tell you now, Andres. It's not worth the effort. Let the pretty facade fool you. No. What? Really? Yes, go back. Go find her. Older than me and you're not married? Go find her. That's how it should be. I was too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had. Trust me. Do you think Tyrolean men are better than Bavarians? I was too short to spend dreaming about the ones you could have had. Us. You seem to feel strong about this, Andres. It sounds foolish. Shoot out, you might say. Maybe, but it feels right. Don't overthink it, just take my advice. I may not have found true love, but that doesn't mean you can't. You know what? You're absolutely right. You gotta say anything. But it feels right. Well, if I ever had the chance to get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. Convince Andreas to feel a sweetheart. Or something to look forward to after all. Thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. Pleasure. Until later, Andreas. Until then. Auto speech. Why am I just now getting that in my journal? Oh, I wanted to look up Matthews. Where's Matthews? Wait, what? I'll have Matthews. Is the guy showing us brighter? Okay. No. Hey, really? I guess I don't have that many people yet. Alright. Oh, whoa. I did not mean to do an oh, whoa. I was just trying to say, oh, whoa. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down to supper. Care to join? It would be my pleasure. Oh man, that's a lot. It's truly a blessing to have everyone back together again, if only briefly. Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that he minds how much he takes. Young boys eat too damn much. Peter, stop that. Andreas is our guest. Why don't you lead us in grace? Oh, so fine. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. We pray again for our beloved Christine, gone now these many years. Please help me protect my family in these difficult times. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen, 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 amen. 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 So, Andreas, why are we the only ones with bread? Gooners can't afford a lot of bread. They're being polite. Andreas, it's so good to have you at our table again. With another guest. Is this young man your assistant? Casper, yes, he's my apprentice. Oh, that would explain why I saw him writing in that little journal. I remember you did the same thing when you lived here. Select food to eat. We got rye bread, fresh pottage, and cheese. Dang, you got 2 things of bread. Let's start off with some bread. You still drawing your journal, Andres? I've been trying to spend more time on the land. It's hard to be in touch with God's splendor in a city like Nuremberg. Well, sometimes when the mood strikes. No. Oh, you can speak now, Ursula. I remember you just blabbled.
Bob said he know a lot about paper, proper names for birds and trees and things.
How nice that you had time. And we toy all day. And that despicable Abby is starving us all while he sips on his Sacramento wet fucking wine.
Lay off him, Dad. He's only just got here.
Fresh pottage? How have the fates been treating you these last few years? The Lord is testing us with another hard season, I'm afraid.
That's one way to say it. Been miserable as shit all around.
Why is everybody coughing? Maybe you should be resting, Grandpa.
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it sitting up at my own damn table.
The whole family's been ill, Andreas. Peter, his father, and Ursula, but then all you and me, well, we lost a child in childbed a year ago now. You have any idea what cause might have been? Andreas? It's all right, Barnacle. Agnes suggested it might have been a fright I was given during the flood. It was near slipped away in the flood, and the child came early. Agnes tried her best to save him, but he had a deformity of the skull and didn't live long.
It was monstrous. Monstrous.
Surely the child is with the Lord now. Don't think about it. Let's keep the conversation going. You think about it? You're already thinking about it. I am already thinking about it. Leave me alone just for a while. Alright, just for a while. What? I was with Luke now. It's monstrous. Monstrous. Charles with Luke. Lord doesn't seem to look our way any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands. We're eating not at the table, he's right. You think? Please, can we talk about this now? Can we not talk about this now? Cheese. Give me cheese. Finishing up with cheese. George, you was married while you were away, Andreas. My condolences.
Well, it's not like that, Andreas. Veronica and I are happy.
Happy it.
It's been a couple springs, and I'm still not used to being married.
Any children yet? There's been time enough for it. Well, I'm happy for you.
Thanks, Andreas. It's been our one blessing in a dark season. Trevor to come, I hope.
Haha. What? I don't get it.
Do you?
Forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas? patrons are fussy, and I've spent a fortune trying to keep. Oh, what should I say? I don't know. What should I say? My life seems so far from theirs now. Leave them waiting. My mind's gone blank. What should I say? What should I say? I think there's something. There has to be something. Don't leave them waiting. Can't think of anything. Think about my miserable little problems. I think you rude if you don't say something. Um, meats way. Can was try while driving. No one is miserable. Finding admission patrons are paying to be added. So it's taking ages to finish. It's been a fortune trying to keep my ink sweat canvas dry while traveling. Ooh, pah. I'm not interested in tales of your charmed city life. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Ursa, maybe you should excuse yourself and rest. I'm sick. Mom, I'm hungry. Here, Ursa, you can have some now. It's not fair that nobody else got any bread, besides Master Andreas and me. Stop! Huh? Ursula, give it back to me. I'm not going to have people in this town saying we can't feed our guests. Besides, we all have work to get back to, don't we? Good. Dang. Time to get back to it, Andreas. See you and your boy later. I apologize, Peter. We don't mean to overstay our welcome. It's alright, Andreas. He's just in a bad mood. It was lovely to see you again. Yeah. Yes, thank you for coming, Andreas. Will you be staying for St. John's Eve? I think so. Good. Hopefully we'll see you later. Until then. Yes, until then. Compline. Oh. Wait, is this the Meadows? Bar. I think this is a better path to get to the Meadows. Yeah. The sin of Saul. The sin of Saul. Master, did you hear that? Sound like someone crying out. I think it's Sister Amali. She's a mystic. She may be having one of her visions. Again? Right when I'm here? Again? Sister Amali, are you alright? The Philistines, this is the hand of God. Compline! Compline! Sister, is something happening at Compline? It's Compline right now. No! Sister? Sister Amali? The outer sun trace. You remember me? Yes. You were here when the bear was killed. We've changed. For the better. God knows. He avails at times at his will. He always knows our inner heart, even if we do not know it ourselves. I wish Father Thomas was here. Or did I Casper to get him? If you could, yes. The house just around the corner. Casper, run off and get Father Thomas. Yes, Master Andreas. Your son. My apprentice Casper thumbs up. My turn is what I think of him like a son. Seems eager to please you. Of course, As his job as great enthusiasm, I feel his devotion is misplaced to me. Jeez. He's enthusiastic. I have little knowledge for the workings of master and apprentices. Wait. Oh, there we go. My world is one of spirit, decoupled from the march of life and death. I see and hear your world turning from this little window. They are mercifully small glimpses. Mercifully small? Shows a difficult life. Life is not difficult, but the choice was my life belongs to God, and its trials are mine to endure in this sand. You don't even have a place to sit, jeez. Your world is the world of normal lives and normal thoughts. It can be difficult to hear the divine, much less make sense of it. I have no will to be part of the world, that world. I strive to have no will at all, but to subordinate myself to the will of God. My will is His will. His graces me with visions, confusing though they may be. To join your will, to be intimate with Jesus as though He were your wedded husband. What? It can be interpreted scriptures, and if God is giving you, He wants you to understand them. Yeah. Understanding is a ritual, Andreas. Perhaps what God wants for me is to strive, and in striving to understand a different, deeper mystery. It is not my place to question His will, but to contemplate the revelations I receive with the help of Father Thomas. Sister, what is that hole in the ground? My grave. What? I dug it before Father Thomas read me my funeral rites. Before I was enclosed here, I dig a little more each day. Most people find me shocking. This is my devotion, my vocation. When someone finds their calling, they must answer it fully. If God is wrong, I don't think it's that simple. Of course, how could we do things to a closer life not enough? I find that God's calling is simple and singular. It is the rest of the world that is complicated. Calling in question, Andreas, is your life? Probably both. I've lost my love for art, love for family, love for anything. The last 7 years have been hard. It was all too much for me. Don't lose hope, Andreas. The human heart is no small thing. It can hold so much. Andreas, thank you for sending Casper. Seemed prudent. Are you alright, Sister Amalie? Yes, Father. I may have had another vision. I remember a little of it. Master Mao and his apprentice heard nothing specific. It is unfortunate. I am glad you are alright. Andreas, Casper, could you excuse us? We appreciate your help, but I must tend to her now in the church. Of course, Father. Good evening. God bless you both.
So, Andreas, I'm confused. What did all that mean?
I'm not sure, but the last time I heard, Sister Molly had a vision. It was just before the Baron was murdered.
What? Do you think... Could Sister Molly be receiving warnings?
It's easy to think that, especially after the fact. I was only present for one murder and one other vision. Unless there is a medical explanation or condition. Fever or St. Anthony's fire. It's possible, yes.
If someone's going to be murdered, how do we stop it?
We just have to keep our eyes open and our wits about us. It's a difficult question to answer. It's been a long day. We can discuss this some more. Casper, let's retire for the evening. A second vision. Hold hand here. It's getting late. Should get some rest. Yep, go to sleep.
Sleepy time.
Prime. Meet Illuminata at the library. Oh yeah. Forgot about that part. Did you drop this, Casper? No, I don't think so, Master. Oh boy, that's not good. Script looks beautiful, Master Andreas. Did you write that? You were warned. Oh boy. Warned? What does that mean? Warned about what? It has to do with more than the last time I was here. How? I thought they caught the murderer. Yes, but it's complicated. Let's just head up to the library, Casper. Alright, Master. So, someone seems to have just threatened my life. Wouldn't the inn be closed or something? Maybe not. Oh, I want to go see, I want to see if the widow, how she's doing. Maybe she's able to be seen now. Come on. Hey, we're able to see her. Hello! Andreas. Well, I guess you didn't get kicked out if you're still here. 7 years later. The abbot must be furious with me for speaking about it. Or I can't go that way. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-da-da. You know, we saw a ghost running across the aqueduct and it was never explained. I was in the guest house. Reason I can't go in. Oh, I can go through the abbot. Hello, dumb boy. Oh, bless you. Oh, you're not pissed off at me? Huh. That's new. If I'm gonna find a dead body in the cellar. I was just kidding. Oh, it's just a cat. No, don't tell me he's leading the cat's leading me to a dead body. Feed the cat. Oh well, I don't care. It's not my food. There's a good rubbin. There's a good rubbin. All that was just a feel. Okay. But, maybe... Oh, hello, Lucas. Oh, bless you, Master Mallory. Oh, bless you, Brother Lucas. How have you been? Still working in the kitchen? Yes, I'm still assisting Brother Warslav. I've been making more complex dinners recently for Father Gernot. The rest of the brothers eat simpler fare, but the abbot has approved of foods from around the world. Why does the abbot eat such fancy foods? Oh, he's the abbot. Father Washloff says the abbot always gets the best. He said Father Matthias was odd because he ate the same food as the rest of the brothers. I don't mind it though. I've been learning a lot of new ways to cook recently. Oh, what are you cooking now? Oh, Father Washloff sent me to collect something for him. I can't remember what it was. Something from the suburb, perhaps? Probably. There's so much in there though. If I bring back a few onions, I'll be happy. I always need more onions. Do it. God bless you. Welcome back to Kosovo. Brings you to the Abbey. Return to Nuremberg, but one to pay my checks right up here on the way. Oh, of course. His grave is well kept, I assure you. Thank you, Brother Washloff. I'm glad to hear it. They'll be staying at Tossing long enough for the St. John's Eve's festival. It may be simple compared to those in the city, but everyone in Tassing looks forward to it.
Really? That's from Andreas Academy.
Oh, I am never one to miss a party.
Yes, thank you, Master.
I'm sure it's quaint compared to what you're used to, but it's one of Tassing's biggest events. Anyway, I better get back to work. Good to see you again, Andreas. God bless you. God bless you, Brother Watchdog. Look, can I go get some onions for him down here? So you have your sausage, you know. Oh, hopefully I'm not spreading the bubonic plague or anything. Nope, that's not the way. Go to the dormitory. Then, oh, not the church. The Old Bailey. And, oh, Ada, you're still around.
Hello. Who is this?
It's Andreas' brother, Adolf. Andreas Malu.
Oh, Andreas. A fine artist from Nuremberg.
Not quite so young anymore, brother.
Oh, you're still young. When you were last here, I thought I was old. I was wrong. Now I feel the true measure of years on these bones. Like the waves of the wide sea on the cliffs of Porthgauken, time has worn me down. But enough of that. How have you been, Andres?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Good. Be sure to share it with others when you're able.
You seem more at ease now than when I was last here.
Do I? It may be so.
May a virgin scriptorum
Beyond the limits of this body, it pained my joints and strained my brotherly love for God. Scriptorium took my sight and the use of my hands when it closed.
also took the pain from my heart. It closed.
Yeah, but it's content to let me serve the Lord through prayer and contemplation. And so it contents me. I'm sorry, Andres, but I must rest now. It's good to hear a voice I curse all again. Oh, bed. God bless you.
God bless you, Brother Adolf.
Scriptorium's closing down.
I didn't know that. Is it Donna you aren't you? There's all this. You're going to have to disappear quickly after going closed.
Greetings, Master Mallard.
Hello, Sister Zadana.
You're looking like a real artist now. I'm impressed.
You must be living like a lord. A lord who's strapped down with obligations to others, being my wife and my patron, I'm miserable. Yes, but overburdened with problems. No time for my own art without my patrons. Oh, dreadful. At least you can choose your patrons and do what vocation you please. You like living at Kersaw's, sister. I'm not like you, Andreas. I never chose this life. My family couldn't marry me off to anyone of higher rank, so they donated me to the Abbey. The amount was substantial enough for the Abbey to make me in as a nun. I was forced to take the habit. I loved my life before Kershaw. At least you choose your vocation. I was shoved into mine and forgotten. Here you are, muttering as though you aren't the most successful person in Tarrison right now. Dang, I'm just saying my troubles, you asked. Is that why you dislike Mother Illuminata so much? Yes. Mother Illuminata comes from a similar family, but she came to Kershaw willingly. She could have had the life I wanted. Instead, she chose to moralize me for all my transgressions. I've accepted a lot these past years, but I can't ever be as perfect as Illuminata. Still, it's better than it was. Let's return to my duties. Thank you for speaking with me, Andreas Malin. Till later, his sister has done. Yeah, because I gotta go to the library. I'm actually allowed inside the library now. That's new. God bless you, Andreas. It has been too long. I know Father Abbot made it clear you were not to return when you left. We had hoped to hear from you. Yes, my apologies. You're right, of course. I'm good to see you again, Mother Illuminata. This is my apprentice, Captain Ziga from Salzburg. This is my apprentice. No, I'm good to see you. God bless you, Mother Superior. God bless you, young Casper. Master Mallard. Sister said no. I just saw you. I'm sorry to see you in such a state. It sees very little use these days. What happened? After Baron Morfagel's murder, we had fewer and fewer wealthy patrons. The small number that held out lost interest. It's easier to commission work from the Guild of St. Luke or individual masters in big cities like Nuremberg. Father Gurnall saw no reason to keep the scriptorium or library open. Most of the books here have been suffering or neglect. After Mother Cecilia's death, neither I nor Sister Zedna had the time to maintain our inventory. It's terrible. Kershaw was one of the last monastic scriptoria in Bavaria. Piero did say it was going to happen. His brother Piero was fond of saying, all things change in time. All that remain are books for sale to interested parties. Tax that Father Gurnall has entrusted to me. And Sister had said nah, of course. Well, I'm eager to look through your work, at your inventory. Mr. Andreas, may you find a book for little Magdalene? Something that's not in print yet. Excellent idea, Casper. Is there only one thing I can choose from? Parzival. Perhaps Claus would not object to this romance given its emphasis on Christian virtues. The German is a little dated, but I'm sure she'll figure it out with Claus's help. Who knows? Maybe it will inspire her imagination. Able to go upstairs? Yeah, there we go. Oh, continue up. Huh. I think these are Latin translations of some of Origen's homilies. Also, looks like it's partially burnt. Probably not a great gift for young. Wait. This is the same bookend as the notes I found when the Baron was murdered. Wait, what? Whoever wrote this is responsible for writing the notes. I need to ask the Granada about this. Interesting. copy of Jacobus de Vargani's Golden Legend. Every good Christian should know the legend of the saints. And the line is simple enough for that she should be able to read it before long. I don't know who saints talking about. Oh, Richard de Bury's Philobiblia. It's a text on the collection and preservation of books. Maybe this is where Illinois necessarily learned all their tricks. It's certainly a good book for a printer's daughter. So she may not even wanting to go into printing. Alright. Albertus Magnus de Annibalibus. It's ostensibly a bestiary, but it contains much more knowledge. But it contains so much more knowledge on a variety of topics. This can inspire an interest in animals and the natural world. Beautiful illustrations as well. Oh, well, I was going to do the story of Christian, but I want to do nature. Who doesn't like nature? Why is the hatch open? Have you saw any books to purchase? Yeah, it's just one. What do you mean just? Oh. Copy Elber's. Oh. Wait. I saw it positive. I don't remember. I don't remember which book it was, to be honest. This is Christian one. This is the one. This one. Certainly, given your love of nature, you already know all the information contained inside. Perhaps this will be for Klaus Drucker's daughter, Magdalene. That may pose a challenge for her, but I'm sure with persistence she could overcome it. Is there anything else you can need? Yes, my Lumina. What do you know about this book? I don't know anything. This is the first time I've seen it. Where did you find it? I've seen it on the lower shelves. I don't think it's in our catalog. It's burned around the edges. Why? How can I find out where it came from? Oh, it's me saying it. Who wrote it? If it's not in our catalog, I'm afraid I don't know whom you could ask. It was a recent addition. The only people who would know are Mother Cecilia and Father Matthias. That's a shame. Whoever scribed this book wrote the letters I found while investigating the Baron's murder. The ones in the fine book hand? Larry Adolf told me about them. Perhaps he knows something about this book. He's been here longer than any of us. Why would the person who wrote the letters have scribed a book in our library? Well, that's the question. Whoever did it is the thread puller. Huh? Someone who was manipulating people at Kershaw and Tassin, pulling out threads to provoke someone into killing the Baron. I thought one of the brothers killed the Baron. He did. But the Baron was lured to the chapter house by someone who knew Kershaw and Tassin in secret. I'm afraid we can't be of any more help to you in determining the book's provenance. However, as it's not in our catalog and it's already damaged, I doubt Father Albert would mind if we kept it. Oh, excellent, thank you. I'm glad someone bothered to save it from the flames. Yeah, but what flames? Meet with truckers. Oh man. Can you tell me anything more? No. Man. I don't think I'll be able to stream for 3 hours. This yawning so much. Hello, truckers. Let's talk to you. I got a book for you, or not. You're back. Good. We're almost ready to sit down to eat. Would you and Casper care to join us? Of course, thank you, Klaus. I don't remember these other people. Welcome back, Andres. Casper. Andres, these are my friends. Benjamin, Rachel, and Rachel Summerfield. They're on their way back to Prague. Good day.
Hello. Excuse me for not getting up. It's a bit difficult.
Of course, I understand. It's nice to meet you both.
Hello. Blah, 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 blah. Hello.
Oh, it's like your first words. That sound like a real word, Klaus. She's learning more of them every day. She'll be reading before long. That's wonderful, Sagu. That's a wonderful sig to the gift that I brought her. Oh? Consider it a small apology. But from the alley. Consider it a small apology. Hello, Rock. Let's see this small apology. Here you are. Arbartus Magnus de Anomalubus? Andres, she's only 2 years old. You can read it until she's ready. She'll learn quickly in a printer's house. Thanks for this. It's a nice thought. We should probably pray before we eat, assuming the Summerfields don't mind. Not at all. We're accustomed to being guests in Christian homes.
Thank you asking, Klaus.
Alright, I'll lead the prayer then. Bless us, O Lord, and these, your gifts, which are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So I guess they're not Christian. Dang, this looks like fine eating.
Klaus, thank you again for letting us stay here. It's been such a long trip. Oh!
Is it time?
Oh, no. I'm fine. I think I'm just sore everywhere. Whew. Anyway, we'd hoped to get home weeks ago, but the fighting has made it slow progress from Basel.
Is your home in Prague? Basel. Tassing is hardly on the way to Prague. We'd rather not get caught up in battles between the Swabian League and peasants, so we've taken a strange route. We were in Basel to do some business. Oh, man, why am I country with them? But we didn't want to overstay our welcome. Is it really so bad for Jews there? Oh, you're Jews. Of course. Let's just say they've gone back and forth enough on Jews in Basel, and it's best not to feel so too comfortable.
We felt comfort enough with our host, but Benjamin is right. We couldn't stay long.
You know the printer Johann Froben? I'm not familiar with it. I'm not. He's a very successful printer, turned Basel into the center for Swiss printing. He employs incredible artists and form cutters. He even prints books in Greek and Hebrew.
That's why we visited. Benjamin and I are creating a Hebrew type font.
Turns out that when your town banishes all the Jews, you have a more difficult time finding Jews to work for you.
Could have guessed. I just wish it hadn't taken us so long to get home. We have so far to go still.
I still have not eaten a single thing. It's lucky time for me, though. Now I have 2 printers and master artists at my dinner table.
True. It isn't all misfortune.
Hey! Oh, Yes, thank you. A future printer and baby printer to be. Passing hasn't seen this many artists under one roof in a while. It's amazing to see how far printing has come so quickly. Some of the engravings I've seen are incredible. What have you been working on in Prague? Well, the skills for printing and painting are not that similar. What's wrong to say? And new techniques, new types, new styles are being developed every year. Benjamin is trying to create a more readable script for Yiddish. We have typefaces for Hebrew, but it would be nice to have something separate for Yiddish. How novel. Yes, it's still a developing typepiece, and usually only used in Jewish women's books. I like our writing to be more accessible, especially for those who only read Yiddish. Oh my goodness, what in the world is this? Here, something like this. I'll be sure to send you some samples when I'm finished, Klaus. Good, I like the... Huh? Oh, are you? Yes, I'm fine. Klaus, what are you walking on? I need to get ready to sell to travelers as the passes go open. But lately I've been printing the 12 articles for the town.
12 articles?
Thanks to Father Thomas, everyone in town can read at least well enough to make it through that sheet. It's got a lot of people talking and a lot of coming over to Otto's way of thinking. Well, you heard him yourself, Andres. What do you think of what's happening in Tassin? I think the abbot is in a difficult position. He's just trying to find a way through it. Abbot's always been an ass. What do you expect? I remember you saved Ottilia's house from his clutches. Oh, so he did get saved. If he hadn't intervened, she would have lost everything. You're her favorite person, by the way. Oh, it's gonna make me cry. Ain't Andres merciful? Oh, really? I swear. Anyway, I was trying to say that things have been hard on the peasants for years. It's just gotten worse lately. If the abbey is in such a bad state, there must be someone the abbot can appeal to for money. Who, the Pope? Duke of Bavaria may lend him military aid. Money is unlikely. I sit down with Otto and work something out. He could try. Otto's tried to reason with him. The abbot won't listen. Finally, I'm going to eat. Jeez. Mushroom pottage, apple pie, white bread. Man, living the good life, you know. We're sympathetic to what's happening here. We saw it all throughout Swabia. Peasants are suffering. Why do I have to do the country accent with everybody?
It's true, but I worry about what will happen in Tassin. Wow!
That was more of an arse, okay.
Fine. Pence are no match for the soldiers of the Swabian League.
She's gonna have a baby.
What is the Swabian League?
Soldiers of the Swabian nobility, meant to keep peace in the empire. Mercenaries, soldiers for hire. They rally for coin, not for cause. People who think they can crush people for the crime of standing up for themselves. Nope. We can't speak to their motives, because we tried to stay far from them, but they were intimidating at a distance. If the peasants aren't careful, Tassin can draw the wrong sort of attention. I know that, Otto. The peasants are taking a risk, but I believe Otto will keep things peaceful. Anyways, it's not the Swabian League we have to worry about, but soldiers of the Duke of Bavaria.
Bye.
Prince Bishop has church's authority. The Duke's lands around Tassin and Cursaw. extra polish. Also, I'm sorry for showing up yesterday without writing. You had every right to be in. I was one surprised for never writing back. I was so caught up in work, you know how it is. I never got around. I happened to hear him tassing Crystal. I just wanted to forget it. I'm sorry what happened to your family. Sorry I never wrote back. I'm sorry what happened to your family. That's it. I'm sorry. Everyone just says ... Oh. Well, geez. Did I say something wrong?
Ah,
Oh. Oh, this is it. This is it. Oh no, I was afraid of this. You can't travel now. This is all my fault. We should have left by so earlier. Love you, Benjamin, but be quiet. I don't care. I need help. Yes, we need a midwife. Is there one who would accept Rachel? One who would accept? And next I knew she's Tassing's midwife. I could fetch Dr. Taylor's stalls. I have some medical experience. You ever delivered a child? Technically, no. Actually, no. Alright. Who else is there? Well, jeez, I'm sorry. She's Tassing's midwife. That would do good. Could you get her? Klaus? Yes, I could get her. Agnes has delivered every child in Tassing as long as I can remember. She would never turn any woman down. Thank you, Klaus. You're a mitched.
enough for this, thanks. Get me the midwife.
Yes. Andres, you're forgiven. Casper, it was good to have you over, but you both have to leave. Well, of course. Thank you, Klaus. Thank you, Klaus. Good luck, Rachel. Why do we have to leave?
Thank you. I'll need it.
Don't want us to be pregnant for the birth? Jeez, here for the birth. I'll go fetch Agnes. Thank you for joining us, Andreas. Oh, I almost forgot. You should go see the bonfire preparations in town commons. You missed them on your last visit.
Klaus?
I'm going. Thank you, Klaus. I'll be going. Take care. In the bonfire. Central channel. Okay. I was waiting hard for the bonfire tonight. Oh, is it a Christmas thing? Also kind of like festive decorated like this. There the flowers last year and the bonfire is huge. I was asking very finished, but that's all place, Otto. Good. Alright, everyone. Remember, after the bonfire time, we'll celebrate as usual. We will all gather in the woods and the wood will collect herbs as traditional demands.
Otto, the abbot has forbidden harvesting onto this forest. Please, for everyone's sake, reconsider your actions.
Hold on. Alright, got some text messages and all stuff. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. Thank you, Father, but what's orders goes against God's. Force belongs to all of us, as do all the game and found fish. We cannot claim ownership over that which the Lord gave us to hold in common. No, I'm sorry, Father. We'll proceed as planned. Dancing has never let anyone get in the way of our St. John's custom, as long as I can remember. We won't start now. And remember tomorrow, I'll show you proof that as sure as sun turns, well, the sun turns round, the earth, God and our saints are with us. Can't wait. Good day, everybody. Hello, Brother Washlaw. You looked upset at Otto's announcement. Is everything alright? Otto has become more aggressive in his defiance of the Father Brunot will not take this news well. You know, he doesn't like the festiveness? I was just telling you. Let's stop it. Oh, the bonfire's fine. I look forward to it every year. The festival is wonderful. The willfully antagonizing the abbot by gathering herds against his order? I think he just won't into it. It's order. You can just hear Father Thomas on breaks. The abbot declared the woods off limits. Anyways, it's not for me to say. I'm sure the abbot will tell you more. He sent me with an invitation for you to dine with him tonight. Sure, or discuss situation over supper. That's how Tim thinks about it. Jason, the Casper as well. I'm sorry, Andreas. Father Abbott has asked you to come to his house alone. Please tell the Abbott I'll see him this evening. Yeah, I'm not too comfortable going with him alone. And I guess I'll see what all the fuss is about. I'll meet you back at the Golden Hand after dinner, alright? Can I help set up the festival decorations while you're with the Abbott? Yes, but be back before sundown, alright? Yes, thank you, Master. I'll see you later. Alright. That is going to wrap up today's stream. I am kind of tired. So, and my voice is giving up from doing all this. So, I'm going to talk to all y'all later. Hope y'all enjoy the stream. That's been a good night for y'all. And I will talk to y'all all. Hopefully, I'm going to stream tomorrow. Okay? Well, if I don't, I'm not going to be able to get through this. But anyways, bye. See y'all later. Bye-bye.